This is Seoul, the center of Korea in 2022. Among the many people in the cafe, a man looks at the clock and is very anxious alone. Just then, the whole cafe shakes with an unknown roar.
뭐야?
And soon after, 3 giant monsters break down the cafe and rush in. The sudden appearance of a group of hideous monsters throw everyone into confusion. However, the monsters are not interested in other people and only chase the man who was looking at the clock. He ran with all his might, but the monsters catch him up with just one jump and he get beaten up until his death. Everyone watches the terrible scene in real time. Then all the monsters reach out and inhale all his soul. After the monster's ritual over, the supernatural being suddenly disappears somewhere. And the day after the incident, all the news and the internet are already plastered with monsters. Besides, a man named Jeong Jin-soo and a new religion groups called the New Truth are receiving more attention from people than from monsters. The way to the scene of an investigation,
뭐 읽고 있냐? 아, 이거야? 인터넷 지식 백과.
Kyung-hoon and his colleague detective learn that the incident is related to the New Truth religion chaired by Jin-soo.
같은 게 나타나서 지옥에 갈 날짜를 알려준다는데요?
And if what the New Truth religion says is true, the beings who killed the man the day before are angels, not monsters, and the angels took the man to hell.
뭐 좀 나왔고?
없어. 목격자 얘기로는 타액도 막 흘렸다는데.
The angel disappeared without leaving a trace, and New Truth Society Assembly is taking place right next to the scene.
아시아의 한 마을에 살고 있던 그는
Luckily, Chairman Jin-soo is making a speech there himself. Jin-soo, who has been trying to make the world known for the existence of angels for a long time ago. He says the victims of God's revelation have been chosen because they are sinners.
그런 신의 의도가 무엇일까요? 너희는 더 정의로워야 한다. 하셨습니다. 살펴 들어가세요.
He was treated like the cult leader, but now that everyone has seen angels judge sinners, so they believe that Jin-soo's words are true.
신의 행위를 형사님들께서 수사를 다 하시네요.
감사합니다.
And at that time, Detective Kyung-hoon meets his daughter there.
너 지금 학원에 있을 시간 아니야? 너 여기서 지금 뭐 하는데 지금?
걱정하지 마.
너 바로 집으로 가. 어? 딴 데로 새지 말고.
아, 알았다고.
Surprisingly, Chairman Jin-soo is living a simple life, such as taking the subway, and detectives keep following Jin-soo to find where the case is.
사실 신의 의도로 일어나는 일을 어떻게 사람의 힘으로 해결할 수 있겠습니까?
의장님은 원래 종교인이셨던 건가요?
Is Jin-soo really the Messiah of God's choice? Jin-soo tells the detectives the story of Tibet, which gave him the experience of believing in angels for the first time. Long ago he didn't feel the meaning of life. For that reason, he wanted to die in where there was no one. So he went to Tibet. And in Tibet, Jin-soo saw the shape of an angel shining brightly on hands and saw the body burned black.
그때가 제 삶에 의미가 처음 부여된 순간이었습니다.
20 years later, Jin-soo is trying to change the world through New Truth religion.
시질리회가 화살촉이라는 단체랑 깊은 관계가 있다고 말하는 사람들도 있던데.
Many people worship angels with the law of the New Truth Society in order not to go to hell. And among them Arrowhead, a violent group that hates human law, appears anew.
그 신은 인간의 자율성을 믿지 않는가 보네.
희정 씨에게 들었어요. 그 고통을 견디느라 얼마나 힘드셨을까요? 사람의 자율성이 만든 법 체계가 정말 정의롭다고 생각하세요?
Kyung-hoon gets home and searches for Arrowhead information. He suddenly remembers what Jin-soo said to him.
그 살해범은 지금 참회하고 있을까요?
Kyung-hoon's wife was murdered a long time ago. However, he is a detective who obeys human law, but it is unfair fact that the murderer goes out into society and lives well. So that's why Jinsu asked Kyung-hoon the meaning of true remorse. Park Jeong-ja works very hard every day to take care of her daughter and son alone.
축하합니다.
하율이도 앉아.
She doesn't seem to be guilty, but today, on her birthday, she will get a decree that go to hell. The man is one of the Arrowhead members who has believed in Jeong Jinsu's new truth. Many people rather defend and support this crazy act of Arrowhead. So the police cannot help them if they are targeted, whether they are sinner or not.
죄인의 죄를 밝혀서 모든 사람들이 신의 의도로 알도록 하는 거야. 화살촉! 화살촉! 화살촉!
아이 새끼들.
The next day, a victim who was judged by Arrowhead on a streamer's broadcast come to the police station.
진경훈 경사입니다.
저 소도합동법률사무소의 민혜진입니다.
And surprisingly, the criminals beating the victims are all teenagers. In Korea, minors live freely within the boundaries of the law. Even if minors committed murder, the sentence is much less than that of an adult.
우리가 재판 받을 때까지 이 세상이 이대로 있을 것 같아요? 김이. 아저씨가 죄에 대해서 우리보다 다 잘 안다고 생각해요?
이건 시작에 불과해요.
Kyung-hoon meets Min Hye-jin while investigating the case. As a lawyer, she helps victims of indiscriminate Arrowheads act and people branded as family members of sinner.
괴물 같은 거 신의 사자니 뭐니 그런 건 아니죠.
What Min Hye-jin is doing is to stand by human side and keep justice. But now in this world, justice is only God's will. So she is branded as a hindrance to God's work. Then Jeong-ja come to Min Hye-jin to get help.
안녕하세요. 제가 지옥에 가게 됐어. 세질녀분들이 제가 고지를 받은 거라고.
Jeong-ja had a deal with Chairman Jinsu on the day she went the New Truth Society. The New Truth Society needs a person who received a decree for develop their power. They will give her money and they'd like to do a live broadcast of when she go to hell.
미친놈들 진짜.
If she gets $3 million, she'll be remembered as a sinner by everyone after she dies, and even her family will be in danger, but she has not hesitate choose $3 billion for her sons and daughters who will be left alone when she dies.
이 동네가 뭐 그렇게 비싼 동네는 아니라서요.
Only a few days left before Jeong-ja's demonstrations.
의장님, 자주 뵙습니다.
Jinsu is walking directly to her house to sign a contract with Jeong-ja, and behind him, detectives still pursuing him for the truth of the case.
신의 고지를 쫓는 형사들이라. 뭔가 되게 신화적이네요.
So they get started together to contract for her death.
오빠 뭐해? 좀 조용히 좀 있어봐.
It's hard to believe that mother is a sinner, but even the kids listen to all the conversations between them.
저 양아치 아닙니다. 방송 불발되면 DC해 주십니까?
And in the heavy atmosphere that followed, Jinsu found that father is not in her family photo, and then he begins to suspect sinner Jeong-ja.
3살하고 6살이에요.
He doesn't stop and interrogate her.
근데 사진에 아빠가 없어요.
제가 미혼모입니다. 첫째하고 둘째 아빠도 다르고.
선생님,
Jinsu think that she has a secret to hide something.
혹시 가정이 있는 사람이었을까요?
무슨 이유요?
박정자 씨가 지옥에 가는 이유가 궁금하다는 거죠.
That moment, the children cannot control their rage and kick the door open and go out.
잘못했는데 지옥 가냐고! 싫어! 엄마가 뭘 잘못했는데!
For the child, $3 million is just paper, but for Jinsu, it will be an opportunity to create a world where people do not commit the crime. But, is the world without human autonomy a good world?
원래 인간들이 의미가 없으면 자멸해버리는 족속들이잖아요. 곧 새 세상이 열릴 겁니다. 그럼 새 세상에서 뵙죠.
저 미친놈 진짜 저거 무슨 일 생긴다고 진짜로 믿고 있나 보네.
참나. 진짜 대박 서프라이즈! 음악을 준비하기로 했답니다, 여러분!
Jeongja's personal information and her family relationship were all revealed through an Arrowhead streamer. So many bad comments flooded her and her family.
도대체 무슨 죄를 지어서 지옥에 가는지 왜 그걸 안 밝힙니까?
그렇지 않아도
Deep in the night, Hee-jeong came to his house to see Chairman Jinsu.
결심은 6년 전에 했어요.
Hee-jeong tells Jinsu how her mother was killed in the past.
우리 엄마 나 때문에 죽었거든요.
Hee-jeong was a pure white child who hard to commit any sin. That day, Hee-jeong forgot mother's errand and made a mistake that anyone can make. But
됐거든요. 주세요.
by a strange twist of fate, her mother was brutally murdered, and Hee-jeong has been thinking she had killed her mother since that day.
갖다 주고 왔어도 우리 엄마는
So eventually she met Jeong Jinsu to clear up all her guilt.
인간이 만든 법이 얼마나 허망한지 오늘 우리가 할 일이
In fact, Hee-jeong saw the face of the man who killed her mother there for the first time.
우리 인간이 정한 죗값을 치르고 잘 살고 있네요.
And then moved without hesitation. Jinsu have always thought, the world in which humans judge humans is not perfect. In this society, murderers can go back into society and live well. The meaning of true repentance has already disappeared. So Hee-jeong is going to judge the murderer herself today. The next day, the murderer's body was burned like coal as if it had been demonstrated by an angel. When every time another sinner is occurred, they were enthusiastic about it, and only the faith in Arrowhead and the New Truth Society are grow.
인간은 그를 처벌하지 못했습니다. 신께서는 수천 년간을 인내하고 직접 개입하고 계시는 겁니다.
Is it really the world that Jinsu was trying to create in which sinner and their families are condemned in front of everyone even to death?
부탁드리겠습니다.
서북경찰서 강력사팀의 진경훈 경사.
Police justice and public power no longer exist, but Kyung-hoon still denies the existence of angels and pursues the case. At that moment, arrowheads come to judge the cops who investigate the act of the gods. The world is getting crazy, and the day come when Jeongja's demonstration will be broadcast live. The house she spent her life in collapsed because of the broadcast, and many reporters and VIPs from the New Truth Society come to see the angel right in front of.
아, 30억이 저기서 나왔네.
괜찮으세요?
Behind Jeongja, who is waiting for an angel, the police and special forces are also waiting for them.
대기 중에 이상 없죠?
네, 대기 중 이상 없습니다.
우리는 뭔가 낌새가 이상하거나 박정자 씨가 위험해질 것 같은 상황이 되면 무조건 박정자 씨를 지키는데 총력을 기울인다.
They are not sure if they can overpower God with human-made guns, but the scheduled demonstration time is almost approaching.
긴장하고 안전장치 다 풀어놔.
Will the angel really come back to where everyone is looking again? Everyone are waiting nervously for the angel to come out.
흰.
After a brief silence, a loud noise resounds there. The three angels really reappeared. Kyung-hoon shoots at them, but they are not damaged at all. Jeongja is brutally killing by angels, but there is no one there to help the sinner. And the angels finished all their work. Then they disappear somewhere in an instant. So far, this was the first and second episodes of Netflix's original Korean Hellbound directed by Yoon Sang-go. The Hellbound, which tells the story of human sin, good and evil, is produced in 6 episodes, so you can enjoy it easily. There are many more interesting stories behind it, so I recommend you to watch them. Next time, if you want to watch fun and various movie recaps, please subscribe and like.